Does it kill the creative freedom of content creators?
No, it's not like that. See, the thing is that
I'm not saying
what happens with creative freedom is that there also, with
it doesn't have to be sex or sleaze or something like that,
they
right?
say that with great power comes great responsibility.
Accountability
So
as
it
well.
comes in that sense.
Yeah.
That if you are free,
Yeah.
if you are going to speak,
Yeah.
then there is always going to be somebody who is going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech is then I have a freedom to protest
Yeah.
to your freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And it can go on indefinitely.
There's no end. Yeah.
So I think these are all phases. This happens. We've had the censor board in India from ever. Numerous people have been CBFC chiefs.
It should have actually been the certification board.
Certification board, we call it censor board, see? We don't even call it certification. And there have been numerous CBFC chiefs over the last 30, 40, 50 years.
Each one has.
And everyone we've complained about. We always complain about this. So it's a thing. I just think that, self-regulation is tricky. Different countries have figured it out in different ways. I think the US is the most free in that sense, where they can do anything they possibly can. They're also a 200-year-old democracy. They've been at freedom longer. There are many other countries where there aren't such examples. So I think we are sort of, in a place.
Good.
But I think people are pushing boundaries. People are finding new ways to, express themselves, of telling different stories, of pushing that envelope, of getting away with things. One good thing for creators is that most often establishment finds it very hard to figure out what you're saying, right? So, I mean, that should be the sort of thing to do. We've done shows with. We've not done really very big faces. We've done sort of interesting shows. Now we are making a show called The Scam. One plug for me, which Hansel is making, which is actually a fantastic collection of ensemble cast. All sorts of different people, and not necessarily faces in that sense. But see, I don't think you can knock down faces. They have their own value. Finally, when you do marketing, when you do promotions, they are faces for a reason. When you say that, you're going after big faces or big stars, they're there for a reason, because there are audiences out there who like them, who want to see their work. They want to do that. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. What the series business is allowing us to do now is to tell different stories and therefore take different stars. And the one thing about all of these series is that there is no hero, because they tend to be ensemble casts. They tend to be like a large number of actors. So finally, it is actually the script which is the hero for these kind of stories. It is happening that way. And you can do, there was Sacred Games, it had big faces. There was Jamtara, which didn't. So, it's a mixed bag. Finally, see, it's an audience. The one thing about this business is that an audience is sitting all alone, especially since it's so individualistic, and choosing to watch what you've made and taking that decision of whether they like it or not, and getting bored and switching off or moving on, all on their own. You have no control over that. So the only thing that can keep them going is how interesting this story is and how your tale is unfolding. So faces will get an audience in, but will not keep them there.